Managed to get some more work done on the vise today. I cut the little piece of the banding off so that way I could recess the clamp into the bench a little bit more. One of the things I discovered when I did that was because when I built the workbench, I didn't know how deep I needed to make the overlap. I just knew I wanted the overlap so I could, clamp, that way I could clamp stuff to the top of the workbench. It's not deep enough. And so when you look from this edge here to this would be hitting my my brace underneath my workbench. So what I had to do is I had to just put a little spacer in there. I glued that in. I'm not going to use any screws. I think the vise should hold it in place. I still need to, my next step is I'm going to have to notch this a little bit anyways, but at least I don't have to cut it almost completely out. I just need to cut out just enough space for the guide rods to slide into there, but that should not compromise the strength of the work vise seam. I was trying to figure out the next thing I need to do is drill the holes for the vise itself, and I was thinking, how am I going to do this? Got the great idea. Found out about where I want where the hole needed to be center wise. That's this line here, and I flip the vise over and basically slid it into the slot and marked about right in the middle of each of the holes. The measurements on both sides of the vise are within tolerance. When I drill the hole, it's not going to be quite square anyways, but I think I'll have enough play. I can go, one way or another. But well, I guess I'll find out how well this is going to work. Well, I managed to get the holes drilled, and I managed to countersink. One of my ideas, which didn't work out too well, is I used the T-nut, and the plan was to kind of lock the bolt into the hole. And I was going to fill this in with a piece of wood or something like that, and then basically make this into a permanent item. But the problem is, like I said, this is a solid core door, but it is particle board in the middle. And that T-nut, as soon as I screwed down on it, the T-nut just broke loose. So probably what I'll have to do is I'll probably come up with some sort of cover to cover this up, and then if I ever need to retighten the vise, I can. I do still have a gap here. When I drilled, I thought I had it level, but when it came through, so my bolts were kind of whopper jawed a little bit, so I need to work on this gap. Probably what I'll do is I'll probably readjust the bolts a little bit. But I figure while I had everything mounted, this would be a great opportunity to figure out where I needed to cut my notches for the guide bars. So there's 3 total guide bars. Well, there's the screw and then the 2 guide bars. And so I got those marked. When I take this off, hopefully here soon, I'll get those notched out. Like I said, there's a good, it is a solid door, and then you got a 2x4 underneath here. So I mean, what little I'm going to cut out there shouldn't affect the, the strength of the bench.